Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is right now while you watch this video. My name is Bishal, MSc Marketing student at Concordia University. And today, the title of my presentation is Changing Purchasing Behavior. In today's presentation, we will see how my research tries to investigate how consumers are changing their buying behavior due to external factor, that is inflation. So before we begin, these are the agendas for today. You can always pause the video and go through them, but in general I will be going through background, why this study is important, related theories, construct definition and measurement, propose hypothesis, data collection plan, and why we should care about this research. So allow me to take you through some of the snapshots as seen in my newsfeed these days, and this is also a proof of why my research is relevant to the current situation and current economic times. So these are some of the titles, like inflation is changing the grocery shopping habits of 95% of Americans as they turn towards discount stores, cheaper private labels and frozen food. Consumer adjust grocery habits as price climbs. Few more. Rising grocery prices forces consumers to buy less, change brand and switch store. Consumer in Canada less loyal to brands and grocery stores amid inflation, and also consumer changing eating shopping habits as inflation pushes up prices. So this was one of the major reasons for choosing this research topic, as it is very relevant not just to the current situation but many of us in the class as well. So my research question goes this way. What impact does inflation have on consumer purchase behavior of convenience good? So the highlighted construct or keywords will be defined later in this presentation. So let us try to identify the variables here. Purchase behavior here is dependent variable, and inflation and convenience product are independent variables. So why this study is important, or why should we care? So first of all, I would like to assure you that this research falls under consumer behavior, one of the four themes that was given by professor in the class. And apart from that, it is very important for us and marketers to know what kind of change in purchase behavior are observed due to inflation. For instance, we will see consumer change in buying frequency, consumer change in consumption level, and also if consumer is switching or degrading to lower brands. Also, my research will investigate what purchase behavior is observed with different type of convenience product, and I have categorized them into four different types, which we will define individually later in my presentation. And other than that, I will also try to screen out different ways consumers are adapting to cope up with the problem, which could be also a direction for future research. If they are using their past savings right now during the time of inflation, or if consumers are working extra hours to cope up with inflation. So this is the reason, like this study makes much sense in the current time, and this is why we should care about this research. So let us go through some of the related theories. First, let's go through purchase behavior, which is our dependent variable. Belts and Belts in 2007 described this as the process and activities people engaged in while searching for, selecting, purchasing, using, evaluating, and disposing of product and services to satisfy their needs and desire. So my research will extend the comparative literature of purchase behavior by studying two other variables changes, which are defined in my construct definition later on in my presentation. So another is inflation, as defined by Wilder, DE, and Parkin in 1977. Inflation is the process of continuously rising prices, or equivalently of a continuously falling value of money. So convenience product, as defined by Kendall in 2001 and Darren Cohen in 1995. They are the product, the one that helps consumers minimize the time and physical and mental effort required for preparation, consumption, and cleanup. whereas the most recent definition by Investopedia says convenience good is found easily and does not typically involve an intensive decision-making process. So in general, in summary, if I need to say what convenience products are, so they are the one which are found widely and purchased frequently with minimum effort. For example, milk, bread, coffee, chocolates, fruits and vegetables, and the list goes on. So let me take you through some of the construct definition and its measurement. So let me come with the first one, the consumption closure. So we will use these three constructs to measure purchase behavior. The first one is consumption closure. So it is defined as the extent to which consumer used or consumed an adequate amount of a product in particular instant. So this was defined in the book Marketing Scale Handbook, volume 10 by Gordon, the book recommended by professor in his class 5 notes. And we will for the construct was measured with 10 7-point item by Brunner 2 and Gordon in volume 10 book, and the scale alphas were 0.76 and 0.70 in study 6A and 6B in the book by Luke and Block. So for frequency, I have tried to define this construct by myself to make it more relevant to my study. So frequency is the change in the number of purchases made in the past and present for specific time of convenience product category. So we will see if the construct has direct variation with consumption, and we hypothesize it is directly proportional with consumption closure. So again, to measure purchase behavior, we have a third construct known as brand switch. So the brand switch was defined or was categorized by Kevin Lee in 1995 to find different factors that relates to brand switch, in which pricing was one of them. And again, there were different papers that defined different criterias that consumer use brand switch, in which price was one of the major factors. And this was defined by Ness et al. In 2002, Dick et al. In 1996, and Valetusson et al. In 2004. So let me remind you, my research will focus on brand switch due to inflation, that is pricing only. That's the reason why I highlighted the word price here. So to measure this, we will see if consumer has or will likely to switch some brands due to price increase. We will use a 5-point Likert scale for the measurement. For example, how likely will you switch the brand of your toilet tissues if you find another with less price? So another construct, inflation, it has been defined as a broad rise in price of goods and services across economy, eroding purchasing power for consumer and business, as defined by McKinsey and company in their latest definition that was released in August 2022. And for measurement, we will use secondary data that uses consumer price index, CPI, to calculate inflation. Ordinal scale, we will use all items will be measured with 5-point Likert scale, anchored by number 1 strongly agree till number 5 strongly disagree to measure agreeableness. Let me give an example. The question goes this way, like, how much do you agree the price of milk has increased this year compared to last year? So my final construct, I have 4 different type of product to measure convenient product. Number 1 is staple product. So staple products are convenience product that individual routinely purchase at low cost. These are items that consumer find necessary to perform their daily activities. So this was defined by editorial team, Indeed editorial team in their 2021 publication, online publication. So the survey will again use like a scale to measure agreement. For example, I will buy a hand soap if I find similar one for a less price. So in summary, staple products are the one in which consumer buy products so frequently that they don't overthink about which one to buy or compare items. So the second type of convenience product is impulse product, in where like this is the one in which items an individual doesn't plan to purchase before their shopping trip but still buys them. So consumer tends to buy this product because of encouragement from advertisement or product placement in store. So again, in order to gauge the likelihood of future purchase from respondent, we will use Likert scale to measure degree of agreement. For example, I will probably grab a product like sneakers, gums, etc. at the counter when I pay for my grocery. So another type of convenience product is emergency product. So these are the products that are required to meet an immediate unexpected needs. Customer purchase unexpected needs. Consumer purchase this item while emergency occurs. So in general, like consumer often doesn't have time to research their best option and choose whatever is available in a particular location or particular situation in case of emergency product. So again, survey using Likert scale will be used to measure likelihood of purchase. For example, how likely will you buy Advil even if the price increases? So the last type of convenience product that we will study is subscription product, and these are the product where customers must pay a subscription price to access the product or service and get billed on reoccurring schedule, and this was defined on subscription product website on October 2022. So again, we will be using Likert scale to measure likelihood of purchase. For example, how likely will you subscribe to Amazon Prime if the price increases? So my proposed relationship or hypothesis. First one, my hypothesis is purchase frequency of convenience product decreases with the rise in inflation. My hypothesis B is consumer switches to lower price convenience product with the rise in inflation. My hypothesis H2A is we will see or we will observe decrease in consumption of staple convenience product with the rise in inflation. Again, H2B, I hypothesize that we will encounter decrease in consumption of impulse product with rise in inflation. S2C, as there is no effect of inflation on emergency product. That is, consumer will neither switch brand nor decrease consumption in case of different emergency product. H2D, consumer will downgrade or cancel subscription product with rise in inflation. So I would like to take you through a brief data collection plan. So I will build on existing literature and previous research. I will also build on my research. I will also build my research on existing quantitative research and qualitative insights through different blogs and articles from internet. I will be sending questionnaire surveys to different respondents, and at last I will try to find relation and generalize the result using SPSS after analyzing the data. So at last, why should we care and why this research is important from the point of academician as well as marketers. So as per my knowledge, many research that study relation between purchase and inflation has been done, but this research will be the first one to study how purchase behavior changes with one of the type of convenience product during the period of inflation. And also we all know and also for academician, my research can be a good start point to further explore other areas of product like shopping product, specialty product, unsold product with consumer behavior during the time of inflation. And in case of marketers, we all know that convenience goods are often purchased through habits habits of impulse and are relatively inexpensive. It is very important for marketers to ensure that the demand of consumer doesn't wear out with inflation, and they must come up with strategy so that they do not lose their customers. So my paper will help them to come up with those some of the recommended strategy in this case. And also we all know the nature of convenience good. It's inexpensive, and it makes consumer likely to being exchanged for other substitutes. So marketers can understand consumer behavior and see which type of product category needs more attention with my research findings, and they can focus on particular product category and strategize their marketing plans or campaigns. So this is the reason, like, why we should really care about this research, like why academicians and marketers should really look into my research findings. So these are some of the snapshots. So in this piece I have put all those new snapshots that was in my slide. I believe it was slide 2 and 3. So these are all the article references for construct definition, measurement, theories, etc. And these are references from websites, different definitions that I use that are relevant to my studies. So yeah, if you have any question, please let me know, and thank you for being patient and listening to my presentation. Thank you.